Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We are breaking into your local news live for our afternoon Fastcast. My name is Brittany Schmidt. We are bringing you a little bit of the latest here as well, a little bit of what we're kind of working on. So welcome into the Action 2 newsroom. We've got a lot going on today as we go into the weekend. Of course, it's Friday, but we got a lot to cover today. So let's start with a story that I'm personally working on today. And I know we have a lot of people who are dog lovers and have dogs, and so you probably heard a little bit about a mysterious, the words used are mysterious or unknown respiratory illness in dogs. You've probably seen the headlines of this kind of going throughout the nation here. As of right now, I'm told that it's not reported here in Wisconsin, but there has been a case reported in Illinois and then a dozen other states across the nation. So here's what we know. I know that it's being called unknown or mysterious, but the vet I talked to today says it's not necessarily that. We know it's a respiratory illness. What we don't know is whether it's a bug, a new one, or one that's been around for a very long time. I mean, there's like 15 different, bacterial infections that dogs can get. So that's what they're trying to figure out, is if it's new or if it's been here for a long time and they're just kind of seeing an increase in it. So here are the symptoms that they want people to be aware of. Coughing is the number one kind of symptom that they're kind of seeing. We've heard about like kennel cough before. We've heard, and that's kind of just a really dry cough, but then turns into a wet cough. Sneezing, nose or eye discharge, lethargy. If you're noticing that your dog, you know your dog best, right? That's what the vet tells me. So if you feel like something's off and you're seeing some of these symptoms, best case scenario is to contact your vet and get your dog looked at or at least analyzed. There are reports in some states where this illness is getting, to lead to really severe pneumonia, even ICU stays. There have been some reports of death as well in other states, again, not here in Wisconsin. So we'll talk a little bit more about what the vet's looking for and what pet owners should be looking for, but to be a responsible pet owner too. So there are preventative measures that you can take. Vaccines, make sure your dogs are up to date on all of their vaccines. There are 4 or 5 respiratory illness vaccines that your dog can get. One of them that I know a lot of people talk about is Bordetella. So there's a couple of those. So make sure your dogs are up to date. If your dog is sick, they recommend do not take them to the borders. It spreads through air droplets and it spreads really fast. Dogs don't understand social distancing, right? So it's really important to keep your dog isolated and separated, because the vet told me today that respiratory illnesses in dogs can be contagious up to 3 or 4 weeks, even with treatment. So that was something I learned and that thought was really interesting today. And then if you are taking your dog to the groomers, really be, just call your vet and make sure that if they can, keep your dog separated in different kennels, or make sure that their cleaning protocols are there and all of these things. There are ways to groom at home if needed, or sometimes groomers come to you, or even boarders. You could hire someone to come in and take care of your dog, like a pet sitter. But really this is just awareness. They don't want to cause mass panic. Respiratory illnesses have been treated for a long time in dogs. I think a lot of us kind of have a little PTSD when it comes to COVID and unknown illnesses, and to hear about another unknown illness, this one impacting dogs, a lot of us think the worst, because that's just how we operate as humans. Sometimes we jump to the worst case scenario. So here is talk to your vets, monitor your dogs. If something seems off, contact them. There are tests that they can do. One is through nasal, one is through their swabbing their throat, which can be difficult in dogs. If you've ever tried to give your dog a pill or look at their teeth, sometimes they don't really like it, but it can be done, but it is costly. So keep that in mind as well. And the test result may not change how they're going to treat the dog. So that's what we're kind of looking into today. I could tell you a little bit more information about it right now, because this is the story that I am focusing on this afternoon. Jumping over to this story that we have, I want to play this for you here. This is actually Video that was given to us by the Brown County Sheriff's Department office. Let me play that for you here. So a little bit about this. So the Brown County Sheriff's Office says that the community helped them identify these thieves at a storage unit. They were burglarizing it last month. It happened in the town of Pittsfield, northeast of Howard. This surveillance video that they have led to their arrest. Deputies say a search warrant at a home on Green Bay's east side led to the recovery of stolen property and evidence of other criminal activity. Sheriff's Office is not identifying these individuals, but we're hoping to learn more here and when they'll be formally charged and what kind of charges they're looking at. But they are crediting the community with looking at this surveillance video released and helping them identify these thieves burglarizing a unit. So here are some of the other stories that we are working on today that you'll see. I want to play this for you. So these are some of the stories that you've probably seen over the past few days that we've kind of been following up on, and I'm sure you're aware of. So we are continuing to follow the missing kayaker in Lake Mutamort. We are told that the search has been suspended this weekend. It will resume next week. Officials have been out there periodically the past few days looking for this missing kayaker. They were able to find this person's kayak, but he unfortunately is still missing. So they said, weather conditions play an impact, support agencies play an impact. So that is still ongoing. Moving on to the Wild Rose incident that happened last night, the fire at the middle high school there. Construction worker was airlifted after a fire there yesterday. So we'll have an update on that. And then once again, Manitowoc is asking for the public's help for this Manitowoc plane crash that happened yesterday. Officials are trying to figure out exactly what happened. The crash happened at 3:15 yesterday. They know that 2 people were on board. They were not injured, but authorities are asking anyone with video to contact Manitowoc Police. They're looking for any information as they continue that investigation. Okay, let's move on to a view here of Lambeau Field. Give me 2 seconds, you'll see it. There you go, there's Lambeau Field. We know that it's going to be busy there this weekend as we have the Packers game. They're hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, and we just learned, Bo, I want to pull you up for this here. Bo, we just learned that a sports reporter, a Cover 2 contributor, tweeted out saying that Matt LaFleur, the Packers head coach, has said he, quote, heard that Swift will be at Lambeau this weekend, end quote. We're kind of looking into that as well. We know that people have been on Swiftie Watch. What is the weather going to look like if she does, in fact, go there this weekend?
Yeah, we don't want to cause I'm not saying a panic, but if you say Taylor Swift is coming to Green Bay, a lot of people around here are going to be very excited about that. But for the For the Packers game, there is a chance we could see a little bit of snow heading our way. Currently, right now, we do have a system down in Illinois, and it is causing the cloudy skies, as you saw in the Green Bay Sky Cam. But there will be a system behind the one that's coming through tonight that's going to bring a chance of snow on Sunday around the time people are going to start preparing for tailgating, and it might even linger into kickoff for Sunday night. So you can see right here that the system will be moving in from the southwest to the northeast, and this system is going to track similar to the previous system. So it's going to move across Lake Michigan, but we will be close enough where we could see some snow from it. So start preparing ahead, start preparing for just in case the roads are a little bit slippery. So here's a closer look at it. For Saturday, it's going to be cloudy, and then heading into Sunday morning, we'll still see cloudy skies, and then the snow looks to begin early Sunday morning. I would say about 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, we'll start seeing chances of snow, and then we also could see a wintry mix too, since temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 30s. And then heading towards tailgating time, we're going to see more chances of snow showers. It's going to be light, and it's going to be wet, slushy snow, so it's not going to be the powdery snow that a lot of people like. But then by the time we hit kickoff, kickoff, most, if not all, the snow should be wrapping up. So if you're traveling up here to Green Bay to catch the Chiefs game, or I don't know, maybe if you're a Swiftie and you're hoping to see her, you might want to give yourself a couple extra minutes because we might see a light layer of fresh snow on the ground. We're thinking about a half an inch, maybe an inch of snow on Sunday. So that could cause some slippery travel if you're planning on coming up here to Green Bay. And then for your Packers forecast, temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 30s. Wind chills are going to be around 30 degrees, upper 20s. Winds look to be relatively calm, so that shouldn't be an issue. But overall, it should be an okay time for the Packers and Chiefs. And so again, just give yourself a couple extra minutes if you're traveling here to Green Bay.
All right, Bo, thanks so much. We'll see you later on in the shows.
Sounds good.
All right, moving on to our Toys for Tots campaign. We want to remind you that this is going on as well. We've been kind of talking about it for the past few weeks, but we want to show that's what our lobby looks like right now. So we need you to help us give kids a wonderful Christmas this year. We know that the campaign runs until December 12th. So you have under 2 weeks left. Just bring a new unwrapped toy to our lobby here at WBAY in downtown Green Bay. Or there are a lot of other places around Northeast Wisconsin that you can drop off toys. There you see it. That's what it looks like now. And we want to fill that room. In years past, we've filled it where you could barely walk. And so we're hoping to do that again this year. So let's take a look at what are some of the other stories that you'll be seeing here coming up on the 4, 4:30, 5, and 6 tonight. I want to bring this to you. So at 4 o'clock, there's a safety alert desk with Aisha Morales. The CDC says more people are getting sick from cantaloupes contaminated with salmonella. She'll tell us what to look out for and what to do. Tonight at 4:30, Chris Roth is off because, of course, we got the Packers playing at Lambeau Field on Sunday. So Jeff Alexander stepping in for him today. He sits down with Tammy Elliott talking about shipping scams. It is that time of year where people are shopping, getting gifts and stuff, sending things. She talks a little bit about scam texts posing as shipping carriers. You might get text messages, phone calls, so she really walks us through what to know and how to spot the scam. At 5 o'clock, on the national scale, the House voted to expel Republican Representative George Santos of New York. We've kind of been following this for a while. This is after a critical ethics report on his conduct was released, and it accused him of converting campaign donations for his own use. Expulsion requires support from 2/3 of the House, so we'll have more on this story tonight at 5. Then at 6, you'll see a really neat story, a t-shirt donation to cancer patients. So Icon Marketing Inc. is doing its part to help cancer patients that are undergoing active treatment. Today, it donated 1,000 shirts to Theta Care Cancer Care Team that can be modified for patients to wear during chemotherapy treatment. So we'll have more on this project tonight at 6. And that does it for our report today. Again, these are things that we are following up on right now. Barring any breaking news, we'll have some updates tonight at 4, 5, and 6. But for now, we'll return you back to Local News Live. Thanks so much for joining us for our Action 2 News Fastcast. We'll see you back here at 4.